ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. There are still few people who are praying. So first of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Executive Committee and the Board of ICBC for scheduling this presentation tonight. I believe ICNA is known in this community at least to some extent through the effort of ICNA Relief, I suppose. ICNA Relief, anybody knows ICNA Relief? Oh, mashallah, mashallah. But tonight, I'm here to tell you that ICNA is much more than just ICNA Relief. In fact, if you are out there with a desire of presenting Islam to the community at large, you want to look into ICNA and its dawah activities. A quick rundown of what is to come. In the time we have, we will run through the answers to all of the 4 questions that you see up there. Our message, ICNA's more than 50 years of history, ICNA program and methodology. We will also dive into a little deeper through the video clips of 2 of our flagship programs. Towards the end, we will have a comprehensive program view of ICNA as a whole with some data to support it. And at the last, we will have few slides regarding the ICNA Austin and its activities. But first, let us understand what is our message. So our message has been taken from these 2 ayahs of Quran. Al-Baqarah, ayah number 143, and Ali Imran, ayah number 104. And in both of these ayah, you notice that the duty of Ummate Wasat and the Shuhada al-Nas, while it is an obligation on every Muslim, it is ICNA's core principle, and it's the reason for its existence. The Quran tells us that as a Muslim, it is not enough that we only work on 5 pillars, which is what most everybody is familiar with. If we do that, in fact, it is our responsibility that we spread this message too, by way of words and also by practice to others. If we do that, we will be successful in this world and in the hereafter, which is where the word muflihun comes into the picture. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be pleased with us. If we don't, then we will make ourselves liable for displeasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and accountable on the day of judgment. While the message is general and applicable to each of us individually, today's presentation helps us understand what we are doing about it as an organization. As you probably all know, 1 + 1 is normally 2, but when you work in a unified manner, the 1 + 1 becomes 11. So let's run through the ICNA's history, where it came from, and where we're going to. So for that, I will turn this.
During an MSA convention in Green Lake, Wisconsin, the Halakha Ahbab Islamic organization was founded by 6 brothers. The focus of this organization was to present Islam as a complete way of life and engage in a dynamic, peaceful struggle to change individuals and families for the betterment of society.
The vision of the founders was very simple: to have an integrated Islamic community in North America. were students, those who were professionals, live together, learn together, interact together, and at the same time provide an example of how to live Islam in North America.
In 77, at its second annual convention in Jersey City, New Jersey, it was overwhelmingly decided to change the course of HAI by its members. A detailed constitution was adopted, and HAI became the organization we all know today as the Islamic Circle of North America. With a new name and new direction, members of ICNA were determined to become an inclusive, diverse organization and adopted English as their official language.
That this study circle that came out of the MSA, ICNA went on really to be one of the organizations that always stayed current with the time.
The Sisters Wing was established with the purpose of mobilizing and empowering women of all ages to outline the framework of their deen freely within their own circle by providing a platform through education. In 1986, ICNA's Urdu magazine Tariq was renamed The Message and started its English-only publishing quarterly, and eventually this grew to a monthly publication as it gained subscriptions. In 1992, ICNA Relief was established to focus on relief work in the United States. Initially, its purpose was to distribute zakat and sadaqah funds. Since then, ICNA Relief has become a flagship program of ICNA. ICNA knew early on that the future of our community depended on our youth. In 1995, Young Muslims was established and was dedicated to addressing the vital roles Muslim youth should play in North America.
YM is a global alumni group where you have brothers and sisters who've gone through Young Muslims, and it changed them, it transformed them, starting with feeling comfortable being a Muslim to also helping develop their communication skills, their speaking skills, their confidence.
Through the 90s, ICNA's programs and membership level grew at a phenomenal rate. With this growth, the annual convention saw attendance increase every year. Today, the ICNA convention hosts over 20,000 participants and is the largest Muslim convention in the U.S. Dawah has always been a top priority of ICNA. This focus has kept ICNA at the forefront of Dawah activities in North America for the past 4 decades. In 1999, the Why Islam Hotline was established, where anyone can call and ask questions related to Islam, request for a visit to a mosque, or order a free Quran in Islamic literature. The Why Islam Dawah project aims to organize our Dawah work in North America in a professional and effective manner.
We have reached out to many, many non-Muslims, and they are also willing to hear what we have to say. People want to know what you, as a Muslim group, what you say about your faith. And that interaction and that dissemination and bring about that awareness, I think this is the way we have really helped the American public as a whole.
The Islamic Learning Foundation is an educational Islamic institution with the main objective of enriching the lives of Muslims in general and Muslim youth in particular by educating their minds and affecting their hearts with sound knowledge of Islamic Sharia. For years, ICNA was participating in relief work on a global level.
Right now
In
you're on
order
the
to
side
organize
of the
and grow this
screen.
effort,
Move
Helping
like
Hand
1
was
feet that way.
established to continue to provide global humanitarian relief and development with a special focus in countries where the majority of the population is living below the poverty line. In 2009, the ICNA Council for Social Justice was established as a social justice human rights organization that strives to systematically facilitate assertive Muslim involvement in the struggle for the rights of the oppressed in the United States.
So, what started as a group of 6 brothers has grown now to a grassroots organization through 46 units in major cities from New York to Washington State, coast to coast, connecting people with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all working towards one cause. What is that cause? Dawah towards Islam. either directly or through services. So what is the program and what are the methodology that we are using for ICNA? So in a sense, I should say that the methodology is to increase Islamic knowledge, enhance the character, and to develop skills to implement this program through cooperation. Essentially, it is a structure, if you were to visualize, on 4 pillars. And I'm an engineer, so it's easy for me to visualize this way. Each representing one of the more ICNA entities. So first pillar is the spread message, and that is being done through the Why Islam, Gain Peace, Dawah Academy, and through the Dawah certification program. The second pillar, which is the offer education, is through the Tarbiyah, through ILF, Islamic Learning Foundation, and the NeverNet. Third pillar is the services. The services, there you have ICNA Relief, which is working within the country, United States, and the Helping Hand for Relief and Development, which is an international organization. The fourth pillar, which is the social justice, ICNA Council of Social Justice, you have heard that justice delayed is justice denied. That is the reason for our involvement in the civil liberties and socioeconomic justice issues. The last one, which is the streamline effort, actually the streamlining is meant to weave through together all of them to be intact. This work cannot be accomplished by individual nor by a single community on their own. It requires a unified effort. And this is like the roof that keeps all the pillars in its place. You will notice that in each of these so-called pillars, there are several entities, and these are the different channels through which work is being done within the ICNA organization. ICNA can and is playing a role in this area, but to be clear, according to our institution, we can only engage in peaceful manner. So let's look at the ICNA Dawah Outreach Program. You notice that there is a Venn diagram I have here, and these are the 3 aspects of the ICNA Dawah. The first one is the Muslim Callers. It's a Dawah work through Muslim youth, MSAs, Masjid open houses, social media, and work through the Masajid Dawah committees. The second one is the Rewards, which provides the opportunities to discuss issues particular to rewards, mentorship classes, and integrate them into the community. Third one is the non-Muslims, sharing Islam through mailers, billboards, bus ads, shahada packages, conferences, open houses, social media. I'm going to run a small video clip which shows that how Dawah is being done in action in one of those units, which is in the Southern California. The similar effort is launched through other chapters also. Here you will see all of these 3 aspects working together, inshallah.
Our Dawah project Why Islam has alhamdulillah set up many informational booths and tables about Islam throughout Southern California. From the largest book festival in the nation, the LA Times Festival of Books, where attendees have requested more than 2,000 copies of the Quran, to the Irvine Spectrum, as well as many other local malls and swap meets. Dawah outreach has always been a topmost priority continued support to Why Islam, and we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to immensely reward you and all of us and make us peace ambassadors of Islam to humanity. Ameen.
So next, after the Dawah outreach, is the Tarbiyah. And just like the Dawah program, this is also 4 pillars over here I see. The first one is the learning the message of Islam. And the second one is the implement what you have learned. And just like what we call here, walk the talk. Unless we are role model, we will have difficulty convincing anybody else. Develop the team with the capability of leading, presenting, and most of all, striking a conversation with our neighbors about Islam. And the last one is the involve others in the spread of this message. By involving others, you prepare more of the same trained callers to Islam, inshallah. I have a clip here from ICNA Relief. This clip has Dr. Omar Suleiman and Dr. Yasir Qazi talking about the ICNA Relief. Let's listen to what they have to say. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to look at the numbers, so where these numbers lead us to. So back in 2014, we had 121,000 people who were served. Last year, 2022, we have 1 million people served by through the ICNA Relief activities. And there's not one, there are two, there are several programs that ICNA Relief is running. I wanted you to look into this area here. 93% of what we have gotten through the donation, 93% goes back to the people who are being served. And so only 3.5% is going towards the fundraising, and 3.5% towards the administrative cost. Look at this one here, the zakat. 100% of what we get the donation goes out to the people who are needy. This particular clip that I have here is the last clip, by the way. It's a very comprehensive look at the ICNA activities, and it encompasses all of these entities and what they are doing. Not just the name, but by indicating what the numbers look like for these people, for these entities who are working for the cause of Dawah. So let's look at that.
The Islamic Circle of North America is a leading grassroots organization which seeks to obtain the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through working for the establishment of Islam in all spheres of life. Inviting humanity to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is an important obligation for all Muslims. ICNA develops Islamic workers and provides them with skills for effective communications.
ICNA strives for collective success, both in this world and the hereafter. And that is the reason ICNA and its entities have impacted more than 10 million individuals around the world positively in their lives.
Why Islam and Gain Peace are two outreach projects of ICNA. These projects have initiated many activities to help present a clear view of Islam and to clarify any misconceptions. Through Gain Peace, we have been able to host 35 open houses, 55 Dawah training workshops, 1,800 phone calls, and mailing out 25,000 postcards. Why Islam has been engaged in Dawah by going into communities and setting up booths and workshops. In 2022, we saw a 400% increase in brochures and Quran orders, 200 plus remote reverts, over 60,000 non-Muslim subscribers to the monthly newsletter, and over 11,000 requested follow-ups from the Why Islam team. Through our Dawah efforts, we now get a request for a Quran every 9 minutes. This has resulted in thousands of shahadas. ICNA Relief works to build healthy communities, strengthen families, create opportunities for those in despair, and advocate for human rights. In 2022, we served over 1 million people across the United States. ICNA Relief's programs include hunger prevention, Muslim family services, back to school, women's transitional housing, health services, and disaster relief. But our impact is not just felt here in the United States. We also are committed to helping those in need across the globe through Helping Hand.
Inside Syria, Burda, Syria, Diyarbakir, Turkey, Gaziantep, Poland, Romania, yes.
In Pakistan, we have worked tirelessly to provide emergency relief, including food, clean water, shelter, and medical assistance to the affected communities. We also aim to build model communities with housing, a school, a community center, and shops. In Turkey and Syria, Helping Hand has been instrumental in providing relief efforts following the earthquakes, delivering the essentials as well as medical care to those affected.
Helping Hand for Relief and Development from day one started here in Turkey, alhamdulillah.
We have changed 8.5 million lives by supporting orphans, providing skills development training to people, supplying in-kind gift containers, responding to emergencies, and Water for Life beneficiaries. Young Muslim Brothers had a major impact through last year. Over 400 community service projects and initiatives were held, reaching over 6,500 youths. 6 retreats were held focusing on advanced study support, career path communities, mental health certification, professional development webinars, marriage advice resources, and Dawah road trips with Why Islam. Young Muslim Sisters also had a year full of expansion. YM Sisters was able to add 38 new neighbornets, bringing the total over 80 plus. And for the first time since COVID-19, an in-person leadership circle was held with over 160 attendees. ICNA Council for Social Justice is a social justice and human rights organization that strives to systematically facilitate assertive Muslim involvement in the field of human struggle for the rights of the poor and oppressed. ICNA CSJ achieves this goal through advocacy, Muslims Prisoner Support Project, anti-bullying workshops, Muslim Alliance for Black Lives.
It's very important for ICNA to be involved in this area of civic engagement and social justice because of the needs of the society. We have an ever-evolving social climate here in America. Islamophobia has grown over the years. All kinds of issues have come to a head that we have to address as Muslims for the safety, for the well-being, and for the future of the Muslim community in this country.
To support reverts in our community, ICNA has developed Embrace through leadership retreats, halakas, iftars, and workshops. Embrace ensures reverts have a sense of empowerment and community. In 2022, Embrace produced 27 episodes of the Meat and Potatoes podcast, a fluid, spiritually inclined, open-ended, and Islamically oriented podcast. The mission of ICNA Sisters is to strive for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by nurturing the spiritual, moral, and intellectual development of Muslim women. ICNA Sisters are committed to improving the lives of Muslim women through education and service so they can reach their full potential and be the best role model for their communities. They are dedicated to creating a vibrant and supportive environment for Muslim women to connect, grow, and succeed. One of the signature projects of ICNA Sisters is Muslim Children of North America and Young Muslim Juniors. MCNA YMJ is a national children's organization that aims to educate young Muslims and develop them into future leaders. MCNA YMJ brings together Muslim children from all backgrounds, providing them with a platform to learn about Islam and tackle real-life concerns. The organization fosters a sense of community among the children, helping them to live as dedicated young Muslims. The Islamic Learning Foundation, or ILF, is an institute that has been developed to provide a solid foundation of knowledge, direction, and a fusion of classical learning and modern Islamic activism for Muslims in North America. To bring it all together, ICNA arranges the annual and regional conventions and Eid events throughout the country.
ICNA's national convention and large Muslim gatherings were attended by more than 110,000 individuals only in last 1 year. These conventions provide our youth a glimpse of Islam well lived and well practiced. It also provides them an idea how Muslim family values exist in this country.
During the conventions, attendees were able to join hundreds of sessions and gain knowledge from many vibrant speakers.
Please join and support ICNA to achieve its goal to create a diverse, strong, and family-oriented American Muslim society.
So you'll notice that any effort that is related to dawah, whether directly or indirectly, we have got it covered. And that's why when we say it is not an exaggeration, that it is one-stop shop when it comes to dawah. And this is the response to the question of why ICNA. Let's come to the local level. What we have so far seen is the ICNA National. What is happening at the local level in Austin? So at the local level, we have these programs going on, which is like a Dawah outreach program, education, ICNA Sisters, ICNA Relief, and Embrace. So in the street Dawah, which is part of the Dawah outreach, we have been going out to the Congress Avenue, flea markets, Quran and Islamic literature distribution, and working with social media. We will have more to say on this subject matter later on. On the education program, where we provide basic understanding of Islam through Quran, Ahadith, life of Sahaba, Islamic literature, current issues with Islamic viewpoints. This is a weekly program that has been going on in organized fashion for the last 3 years. Sisters Wing has a separate weekly program in Urdu and English. They are working in support of the ICNA Austin in almost every event that we have there. Relief services, which is the food distribution and food through the 5 locations we have, NMCC, ICRR, ICBC, and An-Noor, and also from the ICNA office, which is in the Lamar office. The last one, which is Embrace, this group is being established now with activities like Quranic reading, lectures, and training sessions. Sisters are working to coordinate this effort. I have a lot of hope with this group. If properly organized, this group has a lot of promise for dawah work in our areas. Now, I have gone through just about most of these slides that we had over here. And the question that now comes as to, for a organization like we are, what can you do to help this organization? As you know, it's a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And major part of our work is volunteer-based. And none of this can be done without a dedicated team of volunteers. The volunteer base has to be committed and enthused with no worldly gain, but the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It does require some sacrifice of your talent, sacrifice of your wealth, and most importantly, sacrifice of your time. However, the reward is equally big: peace, tranquility, satisfaction, and most of all, as I said before, the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As you can see for yourself, there is a lot of work to be done in all areas, and we will need your support to make it happen. If any of our efforts has caught your attention, please make sure that you do sign it up on the sign-up sheet that is being passed around, inshallah. I have some data here that I wanted to share with you. And the data is from the ICNA National Dawah using the Why Islam platform. In the last one year, we had a free Quran campaign. In that campaign, 3.5 million people were reached out to. And out of that, 55,000 requests came in, and it resulted in 300 shahada. So it's not a huge number of shahada, but the issue here is that we are able to reach out to a large number of people. And if we continue to do this year after year after year, you can see the effect of that, that inshallah we are going to have more and more of the people coming to Islam, inshallah. Let's go through the similar thing for ICNA Austin. We ran through a similar program for ICNA Austin, and since last January of 2022, we have reached out to 35,000 people. It's a small number, but it's not that small. And we have gotten the engagement from 4,000 people, 436 orders of the Quran was made, and 38 shahada were made, which is in Texas, not just in Austin there. So you can see that there is quite a bit of work, and our vision is that if we establish a Dawah Center in Austin, that will be the focal point for Central Texas and beyond. We are working out the details, but with your partnership, we can create an Austin Dawah Center, inshallah. I'd like to leave this thought with you that we have a lot of potential in this area and in the people that we have. And one day, maybe this will become a reality. And that's all I have for you. Thank you very much. Let's make a dua. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. I think now is the time for you to ask any question if you have any. Yes, brother. So, as I mentioned before, there are 46 units from coast to coast. So ICNA Austin is one of the subunits of ICNA Houston. So in Dallas, you have ICNA Houston, you have ICNA Dallas. And ICNA Austin is a subunit. And the reason it's a subunit is because we need to have a minimum of 3 members of General Assembly here to be able to register that as a unit. And we don't have that yet. And we are working towards that. Inshallah, pretty soon we are going to get there. So this is just one of the subunits that we are working with. Any other question? Yes. Yes, most of the ICNA chapters, because of the legal ramification, they have to register as a 501c3. And we are not 501c3 yet, but inshallah, soon we are going to go in that direction. So every ICNA chapter is a 501c3. Now, you mentioned about ICNA Relief. ICNA Relief is a national organization, and they're also 501c3. Similarly, Y Islam, Helping Hand, they're all independent, sort of independently managed, but they all come under the umbrella of ICNA.org. Any other question? Yes. I guess I'm not able to. No, they do collaborate with each other. And if there is a need in other, like, just an example, this presentation that I have in front of you today was not done all by myself. We had the collaboration from the ICNA National. We had the collaboration from the ICNA Houston, who provided a lot of information to us. We had a collaboration from Y Islam. They provided a lot of information, and that's how we were able to put together a presentation for you today. So yes, they do collaborate with each other. You had a question. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I expected that somebody was going to ask this question. So I had a slide here for you. That slide talks about the Austin Dawah Center. It's still in a preliminary stage, but there are 2 models that we can work with. The first model is the model which is on an as-needed basis. In that model, we can, since we have a Dawah Academy and Dawah certification program, we have people who will be able to be brought in to Austin to train or give a training program to the people who are interested in this Dawah activity. So we could have, for example, quarterly weekend courses or a monthly Dawah campaign. And this will be run through the effort of the central Dawah that we have at this moment in the National Dawah, ICNA National Dawah, or organize open houses. If we have any difficulty or if we need any help, they can come in and they can help us with the open houses or literature, providing the literature for this one there. So this is the first model, which is like as a needed basis. The second model is one where we have the people will be locally staffed. So, for example, if ICBC wanted to have a Dawah center here, they will provide the facility there, and then we will provide the rest of the what we need. In addition to the Model 1, what we have there, we can have the build local Dawah teams. Local Dawah teams we can build. So in building the local Dawah team, what we are talking about is that they will be going out to different locations from, they will be housed here in Austin, but they will be going out to the different neighboring communities and do the Dawah on a weekend or when it is needed. Another one could be the coordinate with all the Islamic centers. Right now, you did mention that before, we do have the Dawah committees. In each masjid have their own Dawah committees, but there is no coordination between those masajid's Dawah committee programs. If we have a central Dawah program or Dawah organization here in Austin, then one of the things that they will have to do is to coordinate with all of these masajid for several things. They can coordinate for the volunteers, preparing the volunteers for the Dawah. They will coordinate with the Dawah booths. They will coordinate with the local malls or wherever the Dawah activities are there. They can engage the adults, the youth, the students. There is a whole slew of things that can be done here. You have UT here. So UT students can be engaged. There are schools, many schools. There are 2 Muslim schools here. And this Dawah Center will be a resource center for these Muslim schools if they need to get information about Islam, about Dawah. Similarly, the outreach efforts to the universities will be done through this center here. And what you need is a dedicated space and a dedicated staff. And that is the dream that we have here for the Dawah Center here in Austin, inshallah, one day. Right now, we do have a Dawah Center which is centrally located in New Jersey area. The lot of these ICNA units, they are doing this on as-needed basis. They are doing as needed basis. But we can take a step forward if we want to do have a Dawah Center here in the Austin area, inshallah. The growth in this area has been phenomenal. Not only just in Austin, but in Texas as a whole. And in order to meet the need of those growing community, especially Muslims and non-Muslims both, I think we need to be thinking about having some kind of a centralized center for the Dawah activities here too. And we have the resources. We have the material, we have the people who can help. And we can hire people at the local level also if we need to, inshallah, one of these days. Any other question? Yeah, yes, sister. I think we need the mic for you because. Very good question. That's the heart of the question. You were asking all those things, but not about the funding. So, each unit raises fund for the projects that they have. So, for example, if we commit to a Dawah Center here, we will need to raise some funds for the Dawah Center. Similarly, if we were to do this Dubai Islam or Gain Peace or any of these ICNA projects, we do need to raise some funding for that too. If we need the additional funding, it is available to us or is provided to us through the national projects. But they like to have each one of these units who are trying to develop themselves to be on their own feet. But initially, they will support from the national organization. I mean, give you an example. The embrace is now it is coming through. We have a WhatsApp group over here established for embrace, and Austin Muslim Rivers. There is a WhatsApp group there. If they do need to bring in somebody from Dallas or someplace else to help them with the organizing this effort, we can support that. ICNA Austin will support that effort there. And the National Embrace program will support that effort there. So that's how we collaborate from each other, with each other on some different subjects or different projects. Any other question? Brother? You've been looking very intently, mashallah. Okay, if you don't have any more questions, I think we can close this session now. Did you raise the hand? Okay, so we can close this session. Let's make a dua. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الأمين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين اللهم ثبتنا على الإسلام اللهم ثبتنا على الإسلام اللهم ثبتنا على الإسلام اللهم نور قلوبنا بنور الإيمان اللهم نور قلوبنا بنور الإيمان اللهم نور قلوبنا بنور الإيمان ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وآله وأصحابه وأزواجه وآل بيته أجمعين. Thank you very much. I appreciate participants, those who came here and they spend their time. A lot of people are having parties tonight. Saturday night is a party night most of the time. So I really appreciate your taking the time and joining this effort, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.